Hello everyone, I'm going to show you how I resin my rocks. I absolutely love the resin. It comes out very shiny, makes your rocks look like they're absolutely under glass. They are beautiful. The back is pretty good, I must say. Some people said they had drips. I didn't have any problem. I just had it put on plexiglass, but I did find that it stuck on solid, the plexiglass. So I started using parchment paper to lay it on, and when you lay it on parchment paper you get a kind of a flat, smooth, dull surface, but I'm okay with that. This is the resin that I use. I got it at Michael's in St. John's, so you can go put your hands on it right away. You don't need to get it from Amazon, anywhere. You can just go and pick it up. It's $26 before the coupon, so you get a bit of a discount if you get the 40% off discount. It's a two-part resin, a hardener, and the resin itself. And I pour the resin into just disposable little Dixie cups, and I use a half a teaspoon or half a tablespoon, sorry, at a time. You do half resin, fill it up to the top, and then do the hardener, fill it right up to the top, equal amounts. It says do it by measurement and not by weight. I don't know why. I was going to do it by weight first, but it specifically says do it by volume, so we'll go with that. And I use a hand sanitizer to clean out my little measuring spoon after. Please don't use the measuring spoon that you use with this with food anymore. Just have it designated for resin only. And I use a disposable little fork that to stir it all up with. And I use gloves. Some people say use a mask. I do find that when you mix it up, you see little bubbles floating everywhere. So maybe a mask is a good idea. I haven't used one yet, but maybe it might be in the future. Oh, and this is the sealer that I've been using when I don't use my resin. It's fabulous. I really like it. I also got this at Walmart. I believe it's $9. It might be more than that, but it's really good. It's very shiny. You can get a matte version of this as well, but I really like this one. I like the shine. Alright, so here we go. So I'm going to take my plastic cup. It says on the directions to measure out each in a different cup. I don't, because I'm measuring it out in the spoon itself. So I know I got equal amounts into the same cup. It also says after 2 minutes of stirring to switch it all out into another cup and use a different stirring spoon. I don't do that. I just stir it all up for the 3 or 4 minutes in total in the same cup, and I haven't had an issue with it yet. So first of all, I'm going to put on my gloves. Oh, and I also have toilet paper or paper towel handy just to wash out the little tablespoon in between the two different products, just so they don't interact, and maybe, I don't know, maybe it'll stick to the spoon, but I just clean it out like that. So first off, I'm going to use the resin. The lid is on very tight for childproof. Okay, so I'm going to pour out the half a tablespoon of resin. And I'm going to scrape the sides and try to get every bit of it out that I can. I don't know if that's necessary or not, but I guess if you have to have precise measurements, I guess you've got to try and get it all. So I just scrape the sides to get it all out. So now I'm just going to clean this out. I'm going to spritz in some hand sanitizer. And just take my toilet paper and wipe it out. There we go. Back to clean again. Now I'm going to use the hardener. So like as before, I'm going to fill up the spoon right to the top. And I'm just going to pour it right in with the resin and scrape this out. There's very, very little smell for those worried about it. Like the spray sealer has a distinct odor and my children complain about it. And I need to open the windows. It says not to do it in a confined space, but I find that there's absolutely no smell or very, very, very little. All right. Now I'm going to clean this again. Put the cover back on. I don't want to waste it or spill it everywhere. So now all you got to do is stir, stir, stir. And I got 3 minutes of stirring. You will see it kind of gets frothy and kind of bubbly and almost opaque at this point. Just keep going. It doesn't change any more than that. It just gets frothier and frothier, and you know you're on the right track. Scrape the sides to make sure you're getting all the resin and the hardener and all of that mixed together. So just stir, stir, stir. I got 3 minutes now. Keep doing the sides. Don't mind the bubbles. Scrape your sides and keep going. I forgot to tell you guys, you do need a straw. Well, you don't really need a straw, but a straw is a very good idea to have. It helps break the bubbles when we start to resin the rocks. You can just breathe on it, but I do like using straws instead. And here we go. We're up to a minute. And I just stir, stir, stir. Stir, stir, stir. See, can you see the bubbles floating up? Probably not. There they go. This is probably not that healthy to inhale in. Scraping the sides, get all that resin down. And a little goes a long way, you guys. I find that however many rocks I've painted, when I use this amount of resin, I usually got resin left over and I just take plain rocks and resin them. And for those who say you can't paint over sealer, you cannot paint over the spray sealer, but you can paint over the resin. Let me stress that again. You can paint over the resin, and it is beautiful to paint on. I have resin, just plain rocks, and then painted onto them, and then I just put an extra little touch of resin over it after to seal it all in. And the results are beautiful. Alright. I do believe I'm done. So that's what you're left with. I'm just going to take this and throw it in the garbage. I'm going to use no-name parchment paper to put down to cover up the plexiglass. So they're very easy to remove when you use the parchment paper. And if you just use plexiglass, it sticks on and it's really hard to get off. Okay, there's one of my rocks. This is the penny one that people seem to enjoy so much. So I'm going to resin this one first. Some people use a paintbrush to start and go over, and then they use their gloved hands to get it everywhere. I'm not going to use a brush because once you use a brush, it's ruined. And that's the end of it. You have to throw it out. I don't see the point in it, so I'm just going to dip my fingers in it and smear it over the top. Not a lot, just whatever comes out on your fingers. That's plenty. Just that much. I'm going to smear that over the top, and then I'm going to just rub it all in. And just kind of turn it and make sure you're getting all the crevices. It really brings out the color of your painting. Deepens everything up. And it also brings out the color of the rock. Just rub it all over, smooth it all out. Make sure you get the sides. And there we go. One down. Now, I'm going to do a few of the ones that I found in our adventures. I don't know if they're sealed or not. They sure don't look like it to me. So I want to save the art of the child or adult who done this. So I'm going to resin these as well. And when we do our next hide, which I'm hoping will be tomorrow when these are dry, because it takes 24 hours for it to dry. I find if you touch them before the 24-hour period is up, they tend to feel a little bit sticky. But when they're dry, they feel like glass. This one's very cute, by the way. And I love how you did the writing on the back. I don't know what you used. And I would really like to know. So if this one is your rock, please let me know what you used to write on the back, because writing on with a paintbrush is terrible. I tend to think that I might be a little bit handy with a paintbrush, but my writing, not so good. This one, some of these I have sealed with the spray sealer before. This one I did. And it's okay, you can put the sealer right on over it, and it is fine. So there we go. Just rub it all around. Doesn't take very long. And it got a self-leveler in it, so it kind of levels itself out and makes it very flat, even though you might not get it flat at first. Here's one little ladybug, and I'm just going to cover it right up. long as you get all the cracks, should be just fine. And this is the jellyfish that I used in the video, and I actually have it wrote on the back that I used this rock in the video to make the jellyfish tutorial. So this one might be a special find for somebody. And there we go. And that one's sealed. And here is an Oreo cookie that I did. Someone suggested I do an Oreo cookie to dedicate to the fact that my cat Oreo was found. So shout out to you. Sorry I can't remember exactly which member you are, but I have fun making the Oreo cookie. And a martini glass. I haven't shown or posted this one up online. So a little sneak peek. I may never post it up online. But if you find it, hats off. This one's really, really cute. Glass is really fun to do. I had difficulties with it at first. I may do a tutorial later on and showing you how to do glass, because once you do it, it's stunning. And my cute as a button rock. This one's adorable. I really like this one. So just rub it all around. And there we go, he's done. My husband said I should have did a nose on him. He's shaped like a nose. This one was one of my husband's, and he was like, make sure you get that one, make sure you get it. So, I'm getting it. It's a fun part of rock painting. You get your whole family involved. I mean, my family always say, oh, I don't like to paint, I don't like to paint. You paint, you do it all. But one by one, they're starting to get in on it. Whether it be Gavin just hiding the rocks with me, or my husband who's now trying to paint, which is fun. Because he will not ask for help from me. I don't think he wants me to help him. And another ladybug. Some of these beach rocks, the really smooth ones, oh, they cover up lovely. And they're also better to paint on. And the razor. I know all of you knew it was a razor. There was no way it could have been anything else. And the big Newfoundland Pride rock. This one's beautiful. I love the picture plant on it. So you want to get all the sides, because you don't want water leaking in around and getting up in behind and destroying your artwork. I'm running out of room. See, a little bit of Resin goes a long, long way.
Make sure I get this one. This one was also a find on our adventures. Oh my goodness, was Gavin ever excited to find these? It was his first find. And he was just squealing and jumping up and down and just so excited. So if anybody tells you it's not worth doing, guess what, guys? It is. It truly is. When you see a child's eyes light up like that, it is so worth it. And adults, because I was just as excited when we found this little guy. How cute is he? So I'm going to cover him all up. I'm just using the resin now that's kind of left on my glove. And it's plenty. I have lots of ladybugs this time around. Because even though it doesn't seem like I had much trouble doing the ladybug in the video, I had to take the time and break it all down for you and make the process easier and understandable for everybody. I wanted people who have never picked up a paintbrush before to be able to just paint and get a result kind of like mine. So it took me a while to figure out how I could break that down into easy steps for you guys, and hopefully it worked. This one got some sparkles in it. That's very cute. Wonder how this one was created. Very nice. This was another find. And yet another ladybug. I love the way the rocks deepen out and become very dark. Because I find that when I write on the back of the rock, like the information, it's barely noticeable. But soon as you put the resin on, it just pops and you can read everything. I'm running out of room again. I'm going to rearrange these off. Try not to have your rocks touching while they're drying, because they will stick together and you are never going to get them apart, ever. At this point, I'm only going to use the resin that's left on my gloves, and it's still plenty to go over each rock. There, I'll show you. There's the printing on the rock before I resin it. And there it is after. So you can see how much the resin makes the artwork pop. Here we go. I got 4 more to do, and then we're done. And I have this one. This one was also another find. I'm not sure if this one was sealed or not. This one kind of feels like it wasn't. Or if it was, it's been around for a while. But look, I did clean it off before I'm going to resin it, because it was a little bit dirty. Like this May, it says May 31st. Look at that. Some post on Facebook. Well, you get a whole video. Look at that. Alright.
Now I am pretty much done. I have no space left. So I have a little tiny bit of resin left in the cup, and I don't want that to go to waste, so I'm going to take that and I'm going to wipe it over the tops of whichever ones I can. And just give it a little bit of a thicker coat on those. Don't worry about the fact that it looks like it smudges when you put it on. It really doesn't. It flattens out perfectly. I don't even know which one to do, because they all look so beautiful already. Like, they really don't need any more than that. Just check and make sure that especially on the big one, I didn't miss any spots. And there we go. Oh, I'm so excited to get out and hide these, you guys. I hope whoever finds them posts them. It's kind of disappointing, I know, when people don't post their finds, but not everybody knows about the group. Not everybody wants to post. Because my little fella, after we finish hiding, we'll walk around the trail and he'll turn around and he say, "Mom, can we do the trail again just to see if anybody found them?" I'm like, "Oh my God, Gavin, like seriously, I'm exhausted." He's like, "No, Mom, we got to go around." And I'll say to him, "Okay, well, we'll check the first 2 or 3. And if they're gone, he's so excited, he just lights right up. So now that I have all the resin on, there are bubbles that form in the resin. I really don't see a whole lot, but there are bubbles that form on the resin. And you just take a straw, or you can breathe on it if you don't have a straw. But if you got long hair, you might want to tie it up, because I did get my hair in the resin and that made me crooked. But anyway, the blowing on the rock with the straw will pop the little bubbles that are there. I don't know if you can see that or not. It says you will get bubbles all the way through, and to check after about 15-20 minutes and come back and blow on them again. But I usually find I don't get any bubbles after the initial. You guys don't need to see me blowing on every single rock and getting all lightheaded. So I'm going to do this, and I'm pretty much done here, to be honest. I do have one negative thing to say about the resin. I found that when we piled all the rocks in together to go hide, and we put them all in the same bag, and we were kind of running around everywhere like crazy people hiding them, the resin rocks that click together, it does kind of crack the resin, and it almost looks like, if it hits together, it almost looks like a little bit like maybe like a shattered glass in where it clicks together. And I was so disappointed. It happened on the woody rock, and I honestly almost cried. I was like, "Oh my God, no, 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 no." I was hoping it was just something on it, but no, but that's exactly what it is. It was the rocks clicking together, and it chips the resin. So if you're hiding them like we did in a bag and then just running around everywhere, be careful with them. They do click together and they do kind of chip. But other than that, resin is my favorite. And oh, another downside is the drying wait time. I have to wait 24 hours for this to dry. I'm not a patient person. I'm the one who got to touch and feel and pick. Don't do it. Keep clear of it. I'm going to take these now after I got all the bubbles blown out, and I'm going to cover them with, I have this tray, and I'm just going to cover them so no dust, cat hair, dog hair, and that get on them, because I don't want dog hair stuck in my rocks. Other than that, I believe that is everything. I think this time when we go hide our rocks, I think we're going to videotape it. And that should be exciting. Gavin has been a willing partner in this, I guess I should say, and he is willing to go on video, which is a bonus because he's very shy when it comes on video, and he says he will go on video and let me videotape him hiding the rocks. So that will be much easier than blogging it. I will post it on my website if I can. I'm new to websiting and that, so if I can post it on the website, I will. And if not, I'll just stick it up on YouTube and send a link to it after we have them hidden. I don't know if it's going to be tomorrow, depending on weather and whether or not these are dry yet. But they should be dry sometime tomorrow afternoon. So I think that's everything. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. If I missed anything, fill me in. If I did something wrong, let me know. If you do it a different way, you have a better way, let me know. Please. I hope you're enjoying these videos. I'm having a blast making them. I'm pretty shy, but I'm really enjoying it. Once I've relaxed, you'll see my personality kind of come through a little bit later on. But I'm really enjoying the painting, I must say, and I'm appreciating all the likes and the comments. It means a whole lot to me. Thanks so much, and I'll see you next time.